Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this quick webinar on Agentic AI for FP&A. AI is disrupting everything that we do today. Today, we'll try and understand a little bit about Agentic AI. What is it? How is it different from regular AI? And how is it going to disrupt our FP&A roles that we are executing now? So, a quick roadmap of today's session. We'll start by understanding how AI is impacting in FP&A, how AI would look without FP&A, sorry, how FP&A would look without AI and how FP&A looks with AI. We'll try and understand a little bit of difference. And then we look at different levels of AI based on the autonomy and the amount of usage of technology. There are different levels of AI. So we'll try and understand the different levels of AI. And then we'll get into different understanding what is agentic AI and the different use cases around agentic AI. So I'll show you a couple of demos of what an AI agent can do in terms of an FP&A function. And finally, we'll open for some Q&A about AI or generally about your FP&A careers as well. So all in all, it's going to be an exciting 60 minutes to get rid of all the distractions and let's focus on what we are sharing today. By the way, if you stay till the very end, we'll also share with you a special bonus that is a 30 plus use cases pack on Claude using Claude with Excel in FP&A. So we'll share that with you as a special bonus in the very end. Make sure that you stay till the very end to claim that bonus as well. Okay, awesome. So let's get started. So a quick introduction. My name is Dhawal Parvatikar. I'm a qualified chartered accountant. I've also completed my one-year general management program from IIM Ahmedabad. Over the past 16 years, I've served as a CFO in India and in the Middle East. I'm now the co-founder and lead faculty at FP&A Professionals Institute. Over the last 6 years, I've been an active online instructor. I've trained and mentored more than 5,000 finance professionals on various topics like FP&A, finance business partnering, data storytelling, CFO career coaching, and now AI in FP&A. I'm frequently seen in events across the Middle East. I've built a strong community of more than 200 plus CFOs. We keep meeting regularly, exchanging insights. That also helps us generate a lot of opportunities for our students at FPI as well. I'm joined by my co-founder, Asif Masani. Asif, a quick introduction from your end.
Hi, thank you so much, Dhawal, for having me and looking forward to this session on Agentic AI for finance. Quickly about me, I've been in finance FP&A very specifically for over 1 decade now. So started in 2013 as an FP&A analyst, and my most recent role was with one of the largest edtech as the FP&A lead for their APAC region. And in 2023 is when we decided and started the FP&A Professionals Institute. And over the last 3.5 years, we have trained more than 5,000 students across different courses, certifications. And what we do at FPI is not just bring my and Dhawal's expertise. We try to bring in expertise and experience of top FP&A experts and CFOs who often visit our institute as guest faculty. And we try to bring in all that experience and expertise to our alumni and our RFPI community. Yeah, so we covered this. So we have trained more than 5,000 students across all of these courses over the last 3.5 years. And we'll talk more about our flagship FP&A certification, which is a CGFP certification, which will be at the end of this session. Maybe we'll spend 10 minutes on that.
Awesome.
Back to you, though.
Thank you, Asif. Always happy to partner with you. So let's get started with today's session. So let's first try and understand the larger picture of how AI is impacting FP&A. Okay. So to understand that, we need to understand the difference between how FP&A functions without AI and how FP&A will function with AI, right? So here is how currently FP&A is functioning, right? So there are different data sources, your ERP, your CRM, your HRMS, your supply chain systems. Right now, it's all manual consolidation. These systems don't talk to each other. There's an endless loop of VLOOKUPs and XLOOKUPs that we are involved in. Requires a lot of manual consolidation and effort to struggle and juggle with Excel sheets and then finally come up with some reports. And by the time we are actually able to publish these reports, data is already outdated and we are unable to take certain meaningful decisions as well. So that is what is happening currently in the Excel world of FP&A. Well, with AI, we can try and bring some unified intelligence. There is typically a model where a unified data lake or a data warehouse is created, where all the tools are integrated and a unified data logic is provided in this data lake. And then through this data lake, different machine learning models, large language models can be utilized to come up with predictive analytics and real-time dashboards as well. So that gives a far more unified single source of truth. And along with that, all the data sources are able to talk to each other as well. So that's how FP&A can be used in a different way. And that's what AI has been accelerating. Now, the concept of data lake and using data lake has existed even before the AI wave, but AI has just accelerated it, and we are able to use that capability far more effectively and efficiently as well. So that's how FP&A would look like in the agentic or in the AI space as well. Now, what are the different levels of AI? Okay. Now, from basic automation to autonomous intelligence, we can classify them into four different levels. Now, first is your robotic process automation. Now, the best part is robotic process automation has been in existence since last 10 years. It's not something very new. Anything that is repetitive and rule based can be automated through robotic process automation. Okay. A classic example is a couple of years ago, I was talking to a CFO of a large insurance company in India, and she said that 80%, more than 80% of their claims are now being processed by RPA. Okay. So which means that earlier we used to apply for an insurance claim, manual assessors used to review that data and then either pass or reject the claim. But that is now entirely automated through RPA. Only about 20% intervention for a certain set of claims or a class of claims is required. And almost, you might have also noticed that your claims today from the insurance companies get processed instantly or within a couple of hours as well. And that's all possible through robotic process automation. Then comes machine learning. Machine learning is where the machine or the system is able to learn from large sets of past data, and then it is able to predict certain outcomes. It is able to uh, predict some outcomes. It is able to predict certain forecast as well. Okay. So that is what is machine learning, where you feed the models with historical data and they are able to predict a certain level of outcome as well. Now, whether it is revenue forecasting, whether it is credit scoring, all of these are different use cases in the machine learning space. Then comes generative AI. Now, generative AI is where you are creating something. You're talking to the model in a natural language and trying to create a commentary, a presentation, a working, or whatever you want to create. So that is generative AI. Typically, your ChatGPT, your Claudes, all of these are part of your generative AI models as well. And then comes agentic AI. Now, agentic AI is autonomous in nature. The very first nature of agentic AI is autonomous, which means that it is able to process things on its own. It understands natural language instructions and it is able to process things on its own or do an automated processing. Okay. For example, an AP agent should be able to receive the vendor invoices, understand it, process it, and then pass the accounting entry. And also at the regular date, it will get paid as well. Okay. So that is what is agentic AI, where it is able to do certain things in an autonomous way on its own. Now, I recently attended a conference where they introduced a real estate agent, where the agent itself, the agent, which is like a real life looking like voice, it called a prospect. Okay. It asked for his preferences, whether he's looking for a one bedroom or a two bedroom or whatever. And then it booked a viewing, okay, in the apartment. So it did everything on its own. It had conversations like a natural salesperson. And then it was able to book a, then it was able to book a apartment viewing as well. Now, that is what is agentic AI, where things are happening automatically. It understands instructions and you can program it or you can set it up to follow certain rules or follow certain instructions as well. And it has a certain inherent intelligence capabilities as well. So that is what is agentic AI for you. Now that we have some understanding of agentic AI, let's try and understand a couple of use cases around agentic AI. Okay. Now, the first use case is this is a live use case which I was interacting with the CFO of one of the Tata Group companies in India. Again, pretty big companies. So they are actually piloting this use case as we speak. Okay. So these are AI procurement agents. Okay. Typically, what happens is that if you understand the procurement stages or the procurement process, there is a lot of spend, let's say the tail spend, what is called typically as a tail spend, that is 80% of your bottom spend, which are all purchases of low ticket items. Okay. There, a lot of manpower is lost to issue a certain RFP, negotiate with the vendor, get three bids, check the quotes, all of that stuff. So that is where they have deployed an AI agent or a procurement agent, okay, which autonomously negotiates all the contracts which are below $10,000. Okay. And usually they are piloting them with the simplistic ones. Let's say, for example, I want to buy 400 notepads for my company. Okay. Or I want to buy, I don't know, some printer paper for my company. Okay. So simple things they have started piloting, and they are able to see that the autonomous AI agent is able to at least get 5 to 15% additional saving in terms of the negotiation compared to what a human-led negotiation was doing. Okay. And the autonomous agent is able to simultaneously negotiate with hundreds of different kind of vendors for hundreds of different kind of procurement materials, right? So that's what is the power of agentic AI. This is currently in pilot, and they have seen some amazing results. Now their next phase is to test it out with slightly higher ticket and more complex RFPs. You know, they will probably be implementing it from 10 to $50,000 items, and then try and see a little bit more complex tender or an RFP to see how the vendors will bid as well. And they're doing it in a very transparent way. When the vendors are negotiating with the AI agent, they come to know that this is an AI agent, and they're telling it that this is an AI agent. And if at all there is some inconsistency in the negotiation or something is unacceptable, then there is a grievance email ID or a call center where they can call and try and address any issues as well. So this is how they are piloting it. These are AI procurement agents in action at this point in time. This is with one of the Tata Group companies. The second use case is an autonomous FP&A analyst. Okay. Can there be an autonomous FP&A analyst to whom I can give a budget versus actuals data and say that, okay, you carry out the variance analysis, okay, understand the root cause, carry out the variance analysis, understand the root cause, and try and come up with a one-page CFO report. Yeah, one-page CFO report as well, right? So can that be done as well? So this is also possible in action, okay? And I'll show you how it is done right now with a small example. But this is still very much possible where an agentic AI autonomous FP&A analyst, which has far more capabilities of thousands of FP&A analysts together. Think of it pretty much like talking to your chat GPT, but a specific tool which has more FP&A capabilities or trained on more FP&A capabilities. You know, that's how it is going to be in terms of your autonomous FP&A analyst as well. The third use case, probably what we will also look at today, is autonomous accounting. Right? Let's say you map the AI agent with sorry, just give me 1 second. Amma, ಇದು ಬಾಗ್ಲ ಬಂದ್ ಮಾಡ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಒಳಗಿನ ಕಿಟಕಿ ಬಂದ್ ಮಾಡ. So we map our accounting software through an API key to your accounts agent, and the agent will do autonomous accounting on its own. They'll pass accounting entries on their own, raise sales invoices on their own, follow up with customers on their own. Okay, so we'll try and look at a couple of demos as well. Okay, so that's where autonomous or agentic AI is some use cases that you can see. So let's start with the use cases for today. I have carved out, I think, 2 to 3 use cases, depending on how much time we have. We'll try and cover a couple of use cases and then look at how AI agent is autonomously operating. Okay. Now, for today's demo, what I am using is a tool called Manus AI. Manus AI, I'm just going to put it in the chat box. It's called Manus AI. And I'm going to also quickly share with you the link. Just give me a second. Now, Manus AI is basically a tool which is developed by a Chinese company, but it is recently acquired by Meta. So this is your closest experience to a AI agent without getting into the complications of any coding or anything like that. Okay. So that is what is Manus AI for you. Let me just quickly share the link with you in the chat box. Okay. First, let me share with you some demos. Then we'll talk about Manus. What is it? How you can use it, for what you can use it for, not for what you should not use it. I'll tell you all of those things as well. So let's try and understand the use cases for now. Let me just quickly share my screen. So this is how Manus AI's interface looks like. Pretty much like a chat GPT. You can ask any questions here. It gives you answers. It's pretty much like a chat GPT style. But Manus AI also has far more capabilities in terms of understanding Excel sheets, preparing better presentations, even developing websites for that matter. Okay, and I'll quickly show you some examples as well. Okay. So let's start with the first use case for today, which is analyzing a variance analysis commentary. So here I'm going to quickly share with you a quick file. Okay. Yeah. I'll share this file in the chat box. Just take 30 seconds to download it. I'm only sharing the file because you can try it with different models on your own later on. Once you download it, just type done in the chat box. I'm waiting for a couple of comments. Are you all able to download the Excel sheet? Okay. Okay. All right. Now focus on the screen. So this is the Excel sheet where we have, let me just quickly increase the size a little bit. Yeah. So where we have June month of actuals versus forecast. For June month, what is your, and this is a very simple file just to illustrate how a tool can work. Okay. It has far more capabilities. It can handle complex Excel sheets as well. So here we have June month store sales. Forecast was 9.5 million. As against that, we have actually done 9.2 million. And online sales are 5.7 as opposed to a 4.4 million. So basically what has happened is that let's understand what has happened in terms of total forecasted revenue was 15.2 million and we have done 13.6. So there is a shortfall in the overall revenue of 1.6 million. Okay. Now, why there is a shortfall? Possible reasons. Let's understand the possible reasons behind this. One could be that there is a drop in store sales from 9.5 to 9.2. Yes. Although, and there's a drop in online sales as well. Okay. Now, this drop or missed revenue target of 1.6 million could have two different reasons. One is the volume drivers. You can see that the volume has also come down. The forecasted volume in stores was 380K. As opposed to that, we have only done 370K. Similarly, for online, we had anticipated 260K. As opposed to that, we have only done 230K. Okay. Then the other option could, or the other portion also could be the price variance. So there could be two possible variances, right? Price and volume. So we covered the volume and then there could be a price variance as well. The average selling price forecasted was $25. As opposed to that, it has become 24.9. And online sales is also $21.9 forecast versus that we are only doing $19.1. So the main culprit seems to be online sales, where the volume has also drastically come down and the price is also much lower than what we had anticipated. Okay. That is the main reason. Okay. We can see, we are able to see these reasons now with price volume variance analysis. And then there are some other information on gross margin bridge and all of that. Okay. Now, what we will do is, I'll just quickly, sorry, did I stop sharing the screen? So what we will do is, I gave this file to man. Now, even if this is a small variance, okay, it might just take 10 minutes for you to analyze this. Just imagine preparing a presentation, a waterfall chart will still take a lot of time for you to prepare. So what I did, I just simply gave this sheet to Manus. I said that study the Excel sheet. And from the Excel sheet, can you build a waterfall chart to explain the revenue variance? Use price, volume, and channel mix for your analysis. Also give me a 3 to 4 bullet point sharp executive summary along with a waterfall chart. Okay. Now, here, if you notice in the instructions, I did not tell which sheet to go for, what column or row. Okay. It is capable enough to read this Excel sheet and understand what this is about. Even if I don't give this commentary and say that just study this sheet and give me a variance analysis, it should still do that. Right? So it is smarter enough to understand. But the more specific instructions you are able to give, the better outcomes there will be. Right? So that's why I've given some specific information here. Okay. Then Manus says, okay, great, I got it. I'll analyze the Excel sheet for you. It started reading on its own. All this is processing. So this is not me telling it something to do. It's all processing on its own. Then it says revenue variance analysis is complete. It first gave me the executive summary where the revenue variance is $1.6 million. We just saw the $1.6 million. Okay. Then volume decline, and then significant price erosion in online channel. That's what we had observed as well. The online sales prices had come down significantly compared to what we had anticipated. And then gave a variance breakdown as well. So the total variance of 1.6 million, it broke down into volume effect, price effect, and channel mix effect. Okay, channel mix effect. So it gave me these three variances as well. And then it tried to build a waterfall chart as well. Okay, it built a waterfall chart. Then I said, give me a one slide executive presentation for this. One slide executive presentation for this. And it said, okay, I'll create a one slide executive presentation covering the variance analysis. And it started working on the presentation. Okay. And then finally the presentation was ready. It looks something like this. A beautifully created one slide presentation, right? So which gives 1.6 million. Just look at the beautiful presentation here. It is also giving a nice title where it says 1.6 million revenue shortfall driven by volume decline and pricing pressure. Then it is giving the key drivers. Volume effect is 0.91 million. Price effect is 0.68 million. Channel mix shift. Okay. The revenue mix has shifted. In the forecast, it was 37.5% online revenue mix, whereas now it is only 32.4%. Critical insight, online channel accounts for 81% of the total revenue shortfall. See, if you remember, the online revenue had dropped because the volume had also dropped, the price had also dropped. It's giving this critical insight all on its own. I did not tell any instructions. Then it gave a waterfall chart as well, which is again very nicely presented. The tabular input, which was there on that. So again, a quick one slide presentation, which it completely created on its own. I may just download this, maybe make some 5-10% of changes. This is good to go, and directly we can send it to the CFO or the business lead or whoever it is. Yeah. Now, this is just a quick demo use case. I have used this for far more complex Excel sheets, far more complex presentations. It has created a good 20-slide presentation for me as well, with multiple complexities, multiple drivers, multiple things as well. We normally cover all of that in our CGFA certification to see how we can use this for complex cases. But this is a quick demo just to help you understand the autonomous capabilities of Manus AI. So instead of us trying to understand Excel sheets, put a waterfall chart on our own, then take a slide, then try to put all together, right? This is just done in a matter of few minutes. So this is how your work is going to change in the coming months. Okay. Now, when it comes to learning AI, let me put a word of caution. Whoever talks to me about AI, they just ask me one question. What tool to learn? Should I learn Manus? Should I learn Claude? Should I learn ChatGPT? The answer is not in the tool. Let me be very clear. The answer is in the skill set. Right now, what you need to do is understand the skill set to talk to these tools and get things done. Very soon, probably 6 to 12 months from now, you will get enterprise versions of all of these tools or very similar tools within your office environment. At that point in time, you can use your internal company data and share it with these tools as well when you have those enterprise versions. Right now, don't worry about what tool to learn. Okay. You can keep doing experimentation. You can keep doing a mix and match. Right now, all you need to focus on is the skill set to talk to these tools. I'm sure there could be some questions. Yeah, Manus AI, and I can assume the Claude can do the same. Yes, Claude can also do the same. By the way, I just used the same case study on Claude as well. It did a good job in terms of presentation, but I still felt that, sorry, it did a good job in terms of analysis, but I still felt that in terms of presentation, it was not up to the par. But I did try the exact same example with Claude as well. So let me just quickly show that to you. But yes, the capabilities of Claude are increasing day by day. I'm trying to understand where my previous chats were.
The first option on the left, first option on the left.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
So the same Excel sheet, the exact same Excel sheet that I pasted, the exact prompt also, the exact prompt as well. So it gave a good commentary, again, a very similar kind of analysis, volume analysis, channel analysis. It did all of that. It gave a separate waterfall chart, separate executive summary as well. And then I said, how about you build a one-page executive summary for the CFO? Okay, and then it did present something, it did prepare something like this. The analysis wise, it had the exact same capabilities. In fact, Claude, there are the two models that Manus uses is Claude, and there is another tool called Gwen. So both of them are combined, are actually empowering Manus AI in the background. Okay. So this is how the presentation was created by Claude. I felt it lacked finesse, but nonetheless, it did a good job in terms of, I would still probably just format the commentary a little bit, and then this is still good to go. Yeah, it still captured all the essential analysis that was required in terms of Excel sheet. Okay, I hope that answers the question. How far on the accuracy with AI? Are there any specific prompt formats that can help reduce the chance of errors? Yes, the more specific your prompt is, the lesser are the chances of errors. But again, no matter what the outcome is from any AI tool, you still have to apply some judgment. Do your test check. Do your test check before you decide to submit any of this to your senior management. All right. So while you think of more questions, we'll take more questions in the end. Let me just quickly open my Zoho Books account. Okay. Okay. So we looked at one autonomous FP&A, variance analysis and commentaries case where I just uploaded an Excel sheet and asked it to build a commentary and the dashboard. I'll quickly show you how autonomous accounting can also be done using Manus AI. Okay. Now again, Manus AI is one of the AI agents. Now this is the closest experience that we all as laymen, not technical guys, can get to agentic AI. Now there could be specialized AI agents which will come in due course of time, okay, which you will start deploying in your work as well. But right now, this is probably the best to kind of, or the closest that comes to agentic AI, where you'll get some level of autonomous experience. Okay. So now what I'm doing is I have my Zoho Books here. Zoho Books, as many of you might know, is a ERP, right? And I have my accounting system here in Zoho Books. This is a dummy company which I had opened for understanding, right? So this is my sales. I can get my reports access here. I can quickly access my P&L account, right? So this is my Zoho Books account. Now, what I've done is on the back end, I've connected my Zoho Books and Manage through an API key. Okay. So for all of you who are new to API is application programming interface. That is how a couple of apps can talk to each other. Okay. So in this case, what I've done is I've linked my Zoho Books to Manage AI, and I'm going to give some autonomous instructions. Sometimes API keys work flawlessly, sometimes they don't. But I can show you some examples. So let me maybe pick a volunteer from the chat box. Let me say, okay, let me use Veronica. Okay. I'm going to say raise an invoice on Veronica for accounting advisory services for AED 3750 dated March 2026. Now, mind you, I'm in Manus AI. Okay. Now, to raise a manual invoice, I would have actually gone to my Zoho Books account, raise an invoice and whatever. But I'm just giving some natural language instructions. Let's hope the API call works. Sometimes it takes a little bit more time, so be a little bit patient with me. It's now connecting. Okay, so I'll create a customer invoice, refresh token. So basically, it refreshes API tokens, and calls for refreshes API calls every time. I'm trying this after a few days, so it takes some time to connect with my Zoho Books again through API. And once that connection is done, then the subsequent invoices or subsequent instructions are much faster. Till that time, I can show you quickly here. So what is happening? Okay. So in the past also, I've given such instructions, raised invoices. Yeah. Okay, it's not allowing me to go up. Okay, let's wait. I've raised invoices, I've raised instructions in the past. I've put expense claims in Manus and say that pass an expense claim entry in the accounting software, right? So all of those things are possible. This is what is going to happen, right? There will be specific accounting agents you should be able to, or you will be able to purchase from the market and then link them with your ERPs or your accounting softwares or FP&A softwares with your API keys, and they'll be doing things autonomously on their own. Okay. Similarly, there is another concept called embedded AI, where any ERP or an EPM tool that you must be using today, like your SAPs, your Oracles, or Anaplans or JDocs or whatever, they will come up with a chat GPT style window, okay, where you will give instructions in natural language, where you'll say, okay, perform a waterfall chart between Q1 and Q2 travel expenses and give me the reason for variances. Okay. And then your JDocs or your Anaplan itself will put a waterfall chart on your own. You don't need to actually export the data in Excel, combine two Excels with a VLOOKUP, and then do the waterfall chart analysis. All of that nonsense will go away. Okay. So that's where we are heading towards. Are they 100% accurate? Not at this point in time, but they're developing very fast. 6 months ago, Manus and ChatGPT had very different capabilities. Claude had very different capabilities. But today, they're far more advanced. Right? So the capabilities are changing almost by the hour. Okay. So till that time Zoho is processing, or rather Manus is processing, let me take some question as well. What are the best practices for prompting? See, the best practices for prompting, I can sum it up in a formula. Okay. The formula is the character, the context, the outcome, and any specific outcomes that are required. So just give me 1 second. It's going to take some time. Okay. So start with the character. Say that act as a experienced FP&A analyst. That's the character. Okay. Then context. I am trying to perform a budget versus actual analysis for the month. That's the context. And then finally, the outcome, where it's like, okay, give me a waterfall chart or a summary or an executive summary or whatever your outcome that you're expecting. Okay. So give the character, the context, and then the outcome. So that would be the prompting best practice. Okay. It is still refreshing. Invoice created and posted. Ta-da. Okay. So the new invoice is this one. Veronica, invoice number 007, 5th of March, 3750. It says that as posted. So let's check in Zoho Books now. Okay, I'm going to refresh my Zoho Books. Okay, and let's look at reports, P&L, sales. Okay, so I have selected a custom date range of this up to December 25, but my invoice is in 2026. So let me go to the sales register and see. Okay, here we go. So invoice for Veronica posted 007 due today, 5th of March, 3750 dirhams. Okay. So I did not even touch Zoho Books, right? So I gave instructions here in Manis, and then it is able to post accounting entry. Okay. Now let me just quickly open this invoice as well and see. Here is how the tax invoice is prepared, accounting advisory services, now it sent from to Veronica. Awesome. Veronica, you owe me 3,750 grams. So this is the capability, right? It's autonomous. So imagine, instructing to Manus about, imagine how much time it would take for us to create 100 customer accounts. Now, simple, like what I can do is I can simply put an Excel sheet together, okay, or I can download a template from Zoho, put an Excel sheet together and give it to Manus and say that create these 100 customer accounts. Sorry, create these 100 customer accounts, and then it will create 100 customer accounts. Or I can create a number of manual invoices. I can download the sales register. I can ask it to do some comparisons. It can do all of that as well in natural language, like I am talking to my accountant. I don't necessarily need to go into the accounting software and try and analyze a few things as well. Is it safe to give full access to the database? Good question. But again, I would say that if you are using enterprise, if you're using your company data with Manus, then just check with your IT teams before, because again, Manus is a Chinese tool now acquired by Meta. So there are ways to do this. There could be enterprise versions of this. There are ways to also change the settings where you can say that don't use the data that I'm sharing for training the model, in which case the model will not use your data. But again, it's just a button. So we don't know if actually the data is being used for training in the background. So it's a little bit of a gray area at this point in time. I don't have a concrete answer for you at this point in time. Right now, I'm using this for a dummy company, or to some extent, I'm using it in my own work as well, because we are a small company. We can afford to do that. But again, if you're working with a multinational, please check with your IT teams before using these tools for anything. How to share an invoice and pass entry by scanning invoice? Yeah, Divesh has a question. How to share an invoice and pass entry by scanning invoice? Yeah, I've done that. So I have shared my expense claims. Like let's say there is a taxi bill which I have shared. Here you can see. Okay, so there's a taxi bill that I have shared. Sorry, let me show you that quickly. I say that, okay, this is a taxi bill I've incurred while meeting this XYZ person. So pass an expense claim entry, and it has done the expense claim entry on its own, right? But the one glitch in that was that it did not understand where to post the second leg. So I asked it to post it to Dhawal's current account. Okay. But however, if you want it to post in the bank account, it can post the bank account entry as well. But because it did not understand the second leg to be posted, it asked me, and I told pass it in Dhawal's current account. So it was travel expenses debit to Dhawal's current account. So that's how it posted the entry as well. So I've done that. I've shared some taxi invoices and everything just to try to put some. I mean, so here's the taxi invoice. RTA is the Dubai taxi receipt. So I've shared the taxi invoice and I said, account for this local taxi expenses paid by Dhawal. Yeah. And it created an expense claim created. Okay. These are the trip details. Right. And it posted an expense claim entry as well, for 68 dirhams. So yeah, it can pretty much do accounting on its own. But right now, again, Manus AI has agentic AI capabilities, but it is still a general purpose tool. It is no different from a Claude or a ChatGPT. But I just want to show you how the future is going to be, right? You will not be doing stuff on your own in the coming months. Okay. You will just be instructing things in natural language. Whichever tool you use, doesn't matter. Okay. Now, Zoho sometimes may come up with an embedded AI capability for you, where instead of passing going and clicking something and passing an accounting entry, you will just say manual instructions, natural language instructions. Yeah, that's where we are heading. So that's what I just wanted to give you a quick glimpse of where we are heading in terms of agentic AI. Yes, absolutely right. So please do not upload your company confidential data to Manus. But however, if you want to use it to generate some templates, um, mod financial financial models or anything like that, or you templates, you can use that for generating templates and then fill in your real company data in those templates once the templates are generated. That's definitely possible. Okay, let me show you one quick use case, one more use case while we have some more time. Let me just quickly, yeah. Now, like how I connected Manus to Zoho Books, I got a little bit ambitious and I thought, okay, let me see if it can connect to Power BI. But still, that capability has not yet come. You cannot connect Manus to through an API key to a Power BI at this point in time. But of course, I'm pretty sure that capability will come either in Manus or through some other agent very soon. But right now, you cannot connect Manus to Power BI. But however, you can use Manus for a lot of data analytics stuff. Okay. And what I'll give you some example. Now, what happens is that here is a quick data, which is your here's a quick data that is used in our Power BI course. So let me just quickly share this with you. Okay. So here is a sales data on one sheet there is only product ID. On the other sheet there is product. Okay. On the other sheet is geographical. The other sheet is date-wise data. Okay. Now, many times if I have to combine this data into a solid sales register, okay, I may have to go to Power BI, go go to Power Query in the backend, combine that data, combine those different data functions, and do all of that as well. But instead of that, I just said, I'm sharing a file now, which is the same file. Okay, perform ETL functions and give me a Power BI style ready dashboard which I can present to the CFO. Now I asked it to give me the dashboard directly. It did give me a dashboard, but this was not flawless. The data was okay, but the color scheme and everything was not very good. Now again, with a little bit more of refined instructions, it would have probably done that. But again, it did not do very well in terms of dashboards. I have still prepared some other dashboards with using Manus, which I've done well, but this particular dashboard was not very good. So then it asked me, should I give you a Power BI ready data, merge data? I said, okay, use a file and give me a Power BI ready data. Okay, just perform the ETL function. ETL is extract, transform, load. ETL function and give me Power BI ready data. Okay, and it gave me the Power BI ready sales data. Now look at the merged data sales register. Taking some time to load. So it has the sales register. Now it's all combined data. If you see, it was all fragmented here in different sheets, basis product, date, geography, all of that. Now it is all combined and I got the sales register. Now I can directly put this or export this into Power BI and do my dashboarding, whatever I want. So the time that I used to spend on endless loop of VLOOKUPs and combining these data, that's now just with a simple prompt. Now, this is the advantage. This is where probably we are heading in terms of agentic AI. A lot of autonomous capabilities are there. I have built some fantastic websites. Let me also just quickly show you this website that I have built. So I built an entire website to generate financial models. Okay, so quickly. So this is the website that I've built. Look at this. This is a website that I've built with just a few prompts. Okay. And this is a fully functional website. Huh? You guys can try it out also. Let me just put the link in the chat box. Okay. And I'll quickly show this to you. What this will do is it'll create a financial model for you. Okay. So create your model. I'm just going to enter the name here. So enter my email ID. Now, this has only limited capabilities in terms of industries. Okay. So I've only given like 7, 8 industries here. It is still loading. When you start this, so after a few days, it takes a little bit of a time to load. So you'll select your industry by drop down. I've specifically given these industries. Now you can add more industries as well. Okay. But I'm just going to select one industry, for example, SaaS and technology. Then it gives you the basic metrics. What is the monthly recurring revenue, churn rate? I fill all of these data and I just say agree on privacy and then say generate financial model. Download Excel file. It has generated the financial model. Let me show you how the model is. There you go. So the financial model is ready. 24-month data. I specifically instructed it to create 24-month data. You have your P&L statement here, your revenue, cost of sales, your balance sheet, your cash flow statement. It's also giving you a base case, an optimistic case, and pessimistic scenario. Again, you may have to just double check the calculations, but more or less, this is more of an experiment, but a far complex financial model can also be created. Okay. Model can also be created with Claude. It's not just only Manus which will do this. It can also be created. But I just wanted to quickly show you the capabilities of Manus AI in terms of just creating a website. It has created a website on its own. And I've created a couple of websites for this, right, till now. So yeah, a couple of you were asking if we'll share the recording. Yes, we'll share the recording and we'll put it in the WhatsApp group that you were part of. Okay, so yeah, so this is where we are. So I showed you a few use cases for Manus AI. Let me just quickly check what's next in store. We quickly saw the variance analysis use case in Manus AI. That was the commentaries. And then we also saw the autonomous accounting in Zoho, where it created a accounting invoice on its own, right, with basic natural language instructions. So we saw these use cases. But I hope you get a taste of how an autonomous AI agent is going to function, right? It's going to be independent. It will have a little bit of its own intelligence, right? Now, are these models flawless? Maybe, sometimes may not be, right? So you will have to still apply your judgment. You will have to still do your test checks, formula checks, all of these things, right? It's not going to be as simple as giving commands and then just, relaxing and trying to see all of this, what it is doing. It will happen that way, but probably you're not there yet. So must exercise some caution while you are using these models and just double check your outcomes, cross verify your outcomes, your calculations. Even if you see in the previous example of the variance analysis commentaries, we first saw the variance, right? So we first saw the variance, we saw the volume in online sales drop, we saw the price drop in online sales, and then we were able to easily compare it with the outcome that it gave in the presentation, right? So make sure that you are able to at least do some sense check, do your test check before you rely on the outcome that the AI model is giving you. Generally, they'll be accurate. Generally, they are good with their working and they're getting accurate day by day. But still exercise caution in terms of using your company data. Awesome. So now that you have some understanding of agentic AI, do you realize how agentic AI is going to change the FP&A space and how incorporating these skill sets will help you grab great opportunities available out there? Okay. So what we have done is we have done extensive surveys with CFOs. And today, CFOs are looking for 5 different skill sets. One is core FP&A concepts. That's your budgeting, forecasting, variance analysis, building management commentaries. All of those are your core FP&A concepts. Then comes financial modeling. Financial modeling specific to FP&A, not your investment banking and leverage buyouts and all of that. Revenue models, cost models, sensitivity analysis, all of that is financial modeling specific to FP&A. Then data storytelling. Yes, you can analyze 10,000 lines of Excel sheets, but your business teams cannot. That's where the business teams rely on your insights, right? And dashboards are not insights. How do you tell a proper data story? That is what the CFOs are looking for today. Business partnering, collaborating with various cross-functional team members, your business acumen, your ability to build relationship with cross-functional teams, all of that is business partnering. And then finally, leveraging the AI and technological developments that are happening in this space so that you can become far more efficient and effective. So these are the 5 critical skill sets that CFOs today are looking for in their finance teams. And we have started seeing job postings where they're asking for AI knowledge or understanding AI in FP&A. So they have started putting out job postings like that. So what we have done at FP&A Professionals Institute is over the last 2 years, we have been on a mission to create future-ready finance professionals. So we have introduced our flagship program, which is the CGFPA program, that is Certified Global FP&A Professional Program. So this is the Global FP&A certification, which is built and delivered directly by CFOs and FP&A leaders. It has 10 comprehensive modules, which we'll talk about it in a while. Everything designed through highly practical case studies, simulations, and discussions in the class. Everything that we use is real life like looking data, or it is some real life use case that our faculty have come across. You'll also be part of a global alumni network. CGFPA program has been taken by students from more than 25 countries so far. You'll be part of a strong global alumni network. We'll get sessions with a personalized career coach for your finance career. Okay. Then placement support. We help you with your resume review, your interview preparation. We also have our own portal. It's called fpnajobs.com, right? So we have designated mentors who can help you with some mock interview preparation and all of that, which will only increase your chances of landing an FP&A role as well. Again, I'm being conscious to use the word placement support here and not a guarantee, but we try everything in our power to help our students get placed in solid FP&A roles. Access to monthly guest sessions, Q&A sessions, where you can directly clarify any of your doubts with the faculty. External speaker sessions. Globally, top FP&A leaders, CFOs, digital transformation experts come to FPI every month for sharing their experiences through guest sessions. and you'll get access to all of those things. And everything happens through the comfort of your home. All of these are online classes through best-in-class LMS. All the live classes that we do are on Zoom. All you need is to, again, this is a design for busy professionals. So all you need to do is carve out 2 to 4 hours of your weekly time to make sure that you are staying ahead of the curve in terms of FP&A. So here is the curriculum in the CGFPA program. It has 10 solid modules, everything that you can imagine in the FP&A space, along with technical capabilities and technology capabilities as well. So I'll let Asif cover the first 5 modules on the left, then I talk about the modules on the right.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dhawal. So we start with the introduction to FP&A module where we cover the basics and best practices of FP&A function. How does a FP&A team look like? What does the day-to-day work of an FP&A team? What does the calendar of FP&A teams look like? And all of that taught using real-life examples and cases. Budgeting forecasting is about the most important budgeting concepts and techniques. So we cover concepts including top-down, bottoms-up budgeting, zero-based, incremental budgeting, activity-based budgeting, driver-based budgeting. So entire annual operating planning process is covered right from the setting up the guidelines till the CFO budget presentation. So we walk you step by step through the entire budgeting and the annual planning process and all of the components of the annual budget, including your revenue budget, your expense budgets, your headcount salary budget, marketing budgets, and all the different parts of your annual operating plan. So that is a little bit about the budgeting forecasting module. AI for finance and FP&A, very similar to what you did today. We have speakers, we have guest speakers, and what we do is we cover most useful AI tools for finance and FP&A. So just like we covered Agentic AI today, there are other tools which some of you mentioned also. So there is Claude, Microsoft Copilot, and Gemini and OpenAI. So all of these are large language models which are useful in doing some of the day-to-day tasks for finance and FP&A and making you more productive. So all of that is covered. Also, very specific AI agents which are used for very specific FP&A functions. For example, there's an AI agent for doing forecasting. There's an AI agent for doing reconciliation. So all of those AI agents are covered in the AI for finance and FP&A, and it is constantly evolving. So we have refreshed this module every 3 months since there is so much of change happening in this. Management reporting, we cover most important FP&A reports, concepts on variance analysis using frameworks, recharges and allocations, profitability analysis, different performance management frameworks like balance scorecards, OKRs, KPIs. All of this is covered using real life examples, case studies. Financial modeling is one of my favorite modules where we cover best practices in financial modeling, very specific for FP&A use cases. So we cover use cases like preparing revenue models, preparing three-statement financial models, preparing cash flow forecast for the next 4 months or next 13 weeks. How do you do long-range financial projections using capital budgeting techniques like NPV? These are some of the topics covered in financial modeling, scenario planning, sensitivity analysis. So this is a little bit about the first 5 modules on the CGFPA. Let me ask Dhawal to continue and cover the remaining ones.
Thanks, Asif. Now I'll talk about the modules on the right. So one thing that will be common in your FP&A roles is that you will be dealing with large sets of data, right? Whether it is financial data or operational data. So that's why in the data analytics module, we are covering all the essential tools like, Power BI, Power Query, SQL, and many other tools, newly introduced tools. We have introduced many more tools in that as well. Then comes financial analysis. Now, financial analysis is not just about ratio analysis. As a CFO and an FP&A head, internally, you are required to do a lot of different kind of analysis, whether it is horizontal analysis, vertical analysis, mix analysis, price, volume, all those different kind of analysis, right? So all of those different types of analysis with practical examples are covered in the financial analysis case studies. Then storytelling and presentations, like I mentioned to you, how you present your story in a compelling way with a compelling narrative, best storytelling best practices, presentation best practices, what level of audience, how do you present it to them? How do you present to senior audience? How do you present it to junior audience? All of that is covered in the storytelling and presentations module. And now strategy is a very interestingly positioned module. Now, as and when you start becoming senior in your company, your seniors will start talking in a certain strategic language. At that point in time, you cannot use strategy terms very loosely. That's where we're covering all the popular strategic tools and also tell you how they are interlinked with FP&A, right? So that is what is strategy module. And then finally, business partnering. Business partnering is all about collaborating with the business teams. And we are showing you 7 to 8 good cases where Asif and I have collaborated with various cross-functional teams like, HR, business development, factory production, and all of those things, right? So that's where we are covering the business partnering module, where we are showing you how truly you can add value in the business. So all in all, 10 solid modules. Don't just think about this as a course or a certification. This is a hands-on coaching program, 20 years of our blood, sweat, and tears packed into a 6-month coaching program, right? Asif and I have left our high-paying CFO and FP&A lead jobs just to curate the CGFPA program and help the next generation of finance professionals. Okay. Can over the course of the CGFA program, you will see that we are covering 25 plus case studies, more than 50 different examples, 10 different tools as well, 10 plus different frameworks in terms of strategy frameworks and everything, right? You will also undergo a guided capstone project. Not only that, you'll also be understanding tools like Power BI, Power Query. We are also introducing Python, Tableau, and SQL from the next batch, which starts in April. Of course, we are covering AI tools like Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini, Manners, Copilot. Now, one interesting thing that is happening with AI tools is that AI tools are now getting internalized. So many times you will see that when we are showing you how to build a budget, or let's say how do you do a variance analysis, we first show you how you do that in Excel in a case study, and immediately we are referencing to an AI tool and showing you that okay, this is how you can use ChatGPT to do this, or this is how you can use a Manners to do this, right? So AI tools are now getting internalized in all our teachings, and you will see that become very common in all the courses and certifications as well. Okay, so that's a solid certification for you. Now, what is the eligibility for the CGFPA program? You need to have a minimum of bachelor's degree or a global equivalent in finance, accounting, or business. Or alternatively, you may have professional qualifications like CA, CPA, CMA, ACCA, or any accounting equivalent of your country. Okay. Now, again, we don't claim to be a substitute for these primary qualifications. We are in fact a supplement to these qualifications because FP&A is something which is not covered in these accounting qualifications. We are recognized by CPD UK. We are accredited by CPD UK. Okay. And then how do you get the CGFPA award? 3 things. One is you need to attend the live classes, at least 50% of them. Okay. Every Saturday and Sunday, we meet for 2 hours each. Saturday is the FP&A track where we are covering conceptual subject matter. And Sunday is the tool track where the tools will be taught, like Power BI, Power Query, SQL, whichever tool is taught on that Sunday. So Saturday and Sunday, 2 hours each, you'll be attending at least 50% of the classes live. And then submit the assignment somewhere in month number 5. You'll be submitting a capstone assignment, which is an end-to-end budget presentation for a CFO. And again, all the guidance around that will be given to you. Don't worry about it. Once you submit that within the stipulated deadline, you are eligible for the final examination. The final examination is conducted once in 3 months. It's a 2 hours, 100 marks, 50 questions, multiple choice questions type, proctored examination, right? It happens live online from the comfort of your home. You take that examination, and then after you clear that examination with at least 50% passing marks, you will be awarded the CGFPA certificate from FP&A Professionals Institute. Okay. Now, the ROI for a futuristic program like this, I leave it to your imagination. The course fee investment in this program is USD 1795. You can also have an option to pay that over 5 months. The course duration will be for 6 months, okay, where a weekly commitment of at least 3 to 4 hours is required, where we'll also give you some pre-reading materials. You may have to go through them and come prepared for the class discussion. Again, we understand this is designed for busy executives, so we don't expect a commitment of more than 3 to 4 hours a week. Okay. The next cohort is starting on 14th of March 2026. That is when the orientation is happening. The actual classes will start from 4th of April 2026. 14th of March is the orientation. That is when the application process, the screening, and the admission and everything will be completed by 14th of March. Make sure that you are able to complete your applications before 6th of March 2026, that is tomorrow. Application process is completely free of cost. Once you complete the application, our academic counselors will reach out to you with the eligibility. They'll also share with you if there are any early bird offers. You can also ask them for demo lectures. You can also ask them for our previous alumni phone numbers. You can talk to our alumni. Do your due diligence. Don't just enroll into this course because we are telling you. There have been tons and tons of testimonials. Many of them have been able to land FP&A roles. Many of them have been able to implement a lot of frameworks that we have taught in our courses as well. So there have been dozens of testimonials, right? So go through them, talk to any of our alumni, and they'll be able to tell you how the course has been for them. Yeah. FP&Ajobs.com is our latest initiative. Make sure that you are able to create a detailed profile on FP&Ajobs.com. Hopefully, you're able to get your next role on FP&Ajobs.com. We are consistently putting in efforts to bring recruiters and talent on one platform, that is FP&Ajobs.com. Again, a quick reminder, 6th March is when the second round of applications are closing. At least make sure that you fill in the application, get your eligibility checked, and be in the race, race for all the early bird offer and everything. Hopefully, we will see you in one of our programs. All the best. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Bye bye.